Hi, I'm Willie. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And in the last video, we talked about hardware appliances that are Synology alternatives. Enough people wanted to see roll your own or talked about roll your own that I thought we would go ahead and talk about rolling your own NAS. But one thing I wanted to do before we got too far into that is I should have put TrueNAS on that list that we had last week. I apologize. I forgot that IX Systems sold hardware. So TrueNAS is kind of a hybrid. So we'll start with TrueNAS. You can run the TrueNAS software on your own hardware. And if you want, you can actually get a hold of them and buy an appliance from IX Systems. And I've been poking around and it doesn't look like they're too expensive. So if you want to roll your own, you can definitely start with TrueNAS. Now, there's another way that you can roll your own, and that is you could have a server that has a lot of disks in it, set up probably through like a hardware controller for RAID, and then you can install Ubuntu, Debian, name a flavor of Linux. You can enable all of the options that you want, SMB, NFS, iSCSI, and then you could just connect to that. And then you can just tinker and do your own things, which if you love to experiment, besides a Raspberry Pi, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, there may not be much of a better way to learn Linux than to just dive into a project like this and look it up and figure it out. So that's one option that you have. So option one, we talked about TrueNAS. You can install it yourself, install it on their hardware. We talked about doing a pure Linux-based machine where you've just got a bunch of disks, and you can do, if you buy like a refurbished Dell server, there's a place on Amazon where we're buying refurbished, renewed Dell servers that are coming with like 8 terabytes of storage across SAS drives, like 192 gigs RAM, 10 gig interfaces, and these things are like $400 a piece, and you can extend the warranty past 1 year. So if you don't mind used or renewed devices and you don't mind the power draw of that, you can get some really good deals on Amazon. Now, the next thing you could do if you're worried about power and things like that is there's a lot of tutorials around using Raspberry Pi as a NAS. And this one is directly on the Raspberry Pi site. There are cases, there are add-on boards and things like that that make this much easier. So if you're looking for something that's low power consumption, something fun to tinker with, maybe you're not going to use it in production, you could definitely do something with a Raspberry Pi and completely homebrew this thing. Now, some of these next distributions that I'm going to show you, some are based on BSD, some are based on Linux, some I'm familiar with, some I'm not, because I just did a search for open source or Linux-based NAS systems. I'm sure there are more. So if you're using one or you're familiar with one that's not on this list, let me know down in the comments so that I can take a look at it. But the first one that I came across was EasyNAS. And if we go to the About, it includes file system compression, snapshots, copy and write, online increase, decrease file system, online balancing between hard drives, online file system check, multiple language, modular design that allows you to easily add or remove features, uses BTRFS, and the main services that they're highlighting here are CIFS, NFS, FTP, TFTP, Radius, DNLNA, and iSCSI. But you can download EasyNAS and have an NAS using this. And it looks from this, if you can see the screenshot, it looks like it's got a pretty nice interface that they've done. And it looks like there's a web server as well, user and group management, disk management, all kinds of stuff happening there. And I had never heard of EasyNAS until I started this search. That's the beautiful thing about open source and projects like that is they tend to explode. And I don't know what else is going to come out, in the future. The next one is Ziggmanaz, and I think I saw somewhere where it is based on BSD, but it does do ZFS. Um, it will do software RAID 015, JBOD. You can do disk encryption. So it'll do CIFS, SMB. It'll be an Active Directory domain controller. It'll do FTP, NFS, TFTP, AFP, rsync, Unison, iSCSI can be both initiator and target. HAST, CARP, so you got high availability. Bridge, Universal Plug and Play, and BitTorrent. So, and it looks like this has a nice web interface. I haven't seen it, but I'll leave links to these all down in the description. So here's some extra services. So you got transmission, Firefly, iPerf, RD Tool, SyncThing. Not sure how to pronounce that. Fuppies, Mini DLNA, web server, VirtualBox, so you can do virtualization, PHP VirtualBox, and no VNC. It's got an internal file manager. Can do VLANs, supports wireless, link aggregation, wake on LAN, bridge. So there looks like this has got quite a few enhancements, and you can download it. They also do have a hardware compatibility wiki that you should probably look at. Now the next one I do know a little bit about, and it's Open Media Vault, and this one is based on Debian. So let's take a look at their features. Based on Debian, web-based administration, you got user management, scheduled jobs, service announcement, certificate management. They have a plugin system. Looks like you can do software RAID, JBOD 0156, supports ext34, XFS, JFS, BTRFS file systems. You can do quotas, ACL, share management, snapshots. It's got all kinds of monitoring things. Okay, here are the plugins, right? So you got antivirus, an RSP server, LVM, SharePort, SNMP, FTP, TFTP, UPS, USB backup. Looks like you can either probably back up to OneDrive. PhotoPrism file browser. Looks like you can probably back up to S3. Looks like you can run Kubernetes. And right here it says with the Kubernetes or Compose plugin, it is possible to install containerized, Dockerized applications. So you could extend Open Media Vault. The next one we're going to look at is Rockto. So I have seen this. The website, I've been on here a few times, but I've never deployed this. And let's see. They've got a lot of information here. I'm just looking to see what we've got here. So this runs on OpenSUSE. And I didn't see. So here it looks like they've kind of got it broken down into solutions. So personal cloud server, SMB cloud server, traditional NAS server. So I'll leave a link to this. Like I said, all of these down below. Oh, here's our feature list. So Resource Monitor, Rock-Ons, which are Docker plugins, Rockto to Rockto replication, backup services aplenty. So it looks like it can do Time Machine and Windows backup. Looks like it's got Duplicati, fast online live scaling for capacity to go larger or smaller, snapshots, file sharing for all platforms, copy on write. Looks like it's simple to install, good web interface, runs BTRFS, and it'll run on commodity hardware. So if you're running this, let us know. Then the next one is pretty popular. I've had access to a few of these, Unrade. Now, Unrade is not free. You do have to pay for it. And it runs, the operating system itself runs from a USB key unless they have changed that. But this thing, Unrade, is an absolute beast and runs all different kinds of applications besides being a NAS. Yeah, so you can get a starter license for $49, get you all the updates, get you VM and Docker management, integrated Tailscale and VPN, network attached. Storage looks like we can do dual parity, protected array, ZFS, BTRFS, XFS pools. And then it looks like the more that you pay, it has something to do with the. Okay, so on the starter, you only get 6 storage devices. Once you go to Unleashed or Lifetime, you get unlimited storage devices. The unlimited or the Lifetime gets you updates forever. So, and you get access to community apps on all these. And from what I saw when I was running it, there were tons of apps. Here's probably their app list. So they've got community built by a legend, moderated and vetted. But if you start looking down through these, the app list is, so there's 2,405 apps that will run on Unrade. So if you don't mind spending the money, Unrade could be a good fit for your replacement. This other one I'm not familiar with at all, and at first it was built like a when I was searching, it was built like it was a NAS server, and that's what it looks like. Stream and share your audio and video collection to your devices and screens, centralize your backups, and easily run web apps and media apps like a pro. So it looks like it'll do, let's see, here's the feature overview. So it's got backups, VPN, private internet stuff. Let's see, how do we get, okay. So media streaming, disk pooling, one-click apps, VPN, easy backups, file sharing, monitoring, dynamic DNS, networking, simplify your networking, run your own services, DHCP integrated DDNS, web servers, NAS servers. It's based on Fedora, and there's a beta version based on Ubuntu coming soon. Looks like you can consolidate your calendars. It's got iCal and Outlook. Well, let's take a look at, let's see if it'll show us these other apps that are available. So it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 3. Looks like there's about 18 apps. Let's see. So OwnCloud, they've got the Sync, Plex, Time Machine Backup, VPN, stream your MP4 videos using any HTML5 browser. That's kind of nice. OpenVPN. We've got a news reader. Of course, we have transmission, backup to crash plan, couch potato, sick beards. You probably know what those are if you're into that. And then Amahi Anywhere is an app to locally and remotely access your device without a VPN. And it looks like that was just the featured. So it's got Orange HRM. You can do some NetBoot stuff. Let's see, games. So it looks like they've got a poker game, Multicraft, Minecraft server, Solitaire, educational. You got your PHP stuff there, NFS, Zen Photo, calculator, WebCal. Looks like TC exam, so enables educators and trainers to author, schedule, deliver, and report on surveys, quizzes, tests, and exams. Got Geeklog, which looks like it is a content management system. Under business, yeah, so here's CRM and ERP applications. Under backup, we've got database backup. So, I mean, it looks like they are definitely curating, quite a few apps to go along with this. So they got a webmail app, MediaWiki, Subsonic monitoring software, WordPress. So this one might be worth a look. Now, I didn't see a price or anything like that, so I don't know if this is paid. But they've got quite a few apps, so this one might be worth checking out. Then we've got OpenFiler. I've heard people talk about this. And I think a long time ago I installed this on an old machine just to kind of play around with it. But right now, so they're billing it as a SAN or a NAS. So it's got iSCSI target functionality as well as CIFS, NFS, HTTP, FTP, RAID 0, 1, 5, 6, and 10 support, bare metal or virtualization installation, journal file systems, ACLs, point-in-time copy or snapshots, dynamic volume manager, block level remote replication, and high availability clustering. So this might be another one to look into. The next one is Enterprise Storage OS. I don't know anything about this one, but it came up in my search. If you know anything about this, it is based on Linux, and it looks like it supports tape libraries or virtual tape libraries. It can do clustering. It can do, I just saw it. It can do iSCSI. It can do all the standard protocols that we're used to. It can do fiber channel, iSCSI, FCOE. So they talk about, obviously being able to use it with some of the hypervisors and things like that. So this could be another one. Let me know if you're using it. Let me know down in the comments if you are using ESOS. I might install some of these on a VM just to see what it looks like. And then the last one that I found was Pettisan, and it's an open source scale out software defined storage solution. Uses Ceph storage engine and the Consul service mesh platform to offer scale out multi-node active, and highly available storage services supporting industry protocols such as iSCSI, CIFS, SMB, NFS, and S3. Looks like it's streamed. It's using upstream packages from SUSE Enterprise. And it's in active development. So it looks like they mean business to be able to really get you a lot of data in this. And here they are. It's ideal for deployments requiring many I/O operations that need to be executed in parallel, such as VMware, Hyper-V, scale-out file systems, big data analytics, database servers with many parallel transactions, large capacity backups. So I don't know that we can install apps on this, but this thing looks like it is meant to just be a storage beast. So I'm not seeing anything that talks about plugins, but if you're looking for something that's going to scale to a lot of storage, Pettisan may be the option for you. So this is kind of what's out there with some searching and some looking. You can build your own, obviously, from either BSD or Linux. Let me know which of these you've used. Let me know what's not on this list, because over on the community, I am going to start a list of distributions to be able to roll your own. So let me know down below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share, follow me on Twitter and TikTok. Those links are down below, along with affiliate links, a Patreon link. And if you need IT consulting, whether it's storage, voice over IP, wired or wireless networking, or security, or anything in between, head on over to williehowe.com, fill out the contact form that's there on the front page, and someone will be in touch with you as soon as possible. Come on over to our community at community.williehowe.com and join the conversation. Let's talk about all these things and keep the ball rolling. Once again, I'm Willie. I want to thank you for being here, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.